Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Back for another Transformers action figure review, and by popular demand, we will be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. And woo, is this some of the best box art packaging that I have ever seen for a Transformers figure, and holy crap, I love the way it looks, and I like how more streamlined this packaging looks right here. Authentic Transformers! Anyway, now that my seizure is over, taking a look at some of the product images on the back here. Well, we'll be going over all this kind of stuff inside the review. And then here, just wanted to show this off really fast. The packaging opens up with this flap right here. With this flap right here. And the figure just rests inside right there. There's his instructions. Says, "These nuts." Says his name's Nova Prime, Transformers, Generations, Takara Tomy, Evolution. But anyway, let's just get right on into the actual figure itself. And yeah, this Nova Prime figure comes with many accessories. Now, here's the thing, I do understand this is basically just a heavy retool and repaint of Siege Ultra Magnus, specifically the Galaxy upgrade Optimus Prime from the Siege toy line. Yes, it is just kind of a white Optimus, kind of invoking that same Ultra Magnus vibe, but I actually think it works here. I think this design for the Siege Galaxy upgrade Optimus didn't quite do that design from Cybertron justice, but I personally feel that it gives this design the right amount of justice it needs. I wanted to go over posability really fast, because this is my first time handling this mold. So he has a ball joint at the head, which allows for the head to swivel, allows him to look up and down. Head pivoting, all kinds of stuff. Shoulders rotate a full 360. If you untab this joint, you can get some butterfly movement. The shoulders can move in and out, bicep swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and then the golden fingers on the wrists can rotate. And then he does get a waist swivel right there. Hips can ratchet forward, they can ratchet back, they can ratchet, or actually no, there is no ratchets, Move out to the side, he does get a thigh swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then finally the ankles can pivot on a very tight pivot joint. Like, to be brutally honest, this core figure here that goes inside of the overall figure is kind of cringe, but I assure you, once we get him all armored up, is when he's based. I did just want to go over some quick comparisons with the core mode. Here he is compared next to the white Ultra Magnus from the Siege toy line. I do like this figure and this figure's interpretation of this mold better. And then here he is with Optimus based on the same mold. Hey Optimus, I think you need to lose a bit of weight there. And then just for comic book's sake, here he is compared next to the Legacy Voyager class G-Axis. We'll come back to him again in the combine mode. For anyone unfamiliar with this mold, before you combine all the armor on him, just be sure to have the head folded in, the heel spurs folded in as well, and then make sure that his cock piece is twisted around. First of all, we'll start with his big boy boots. Only this time around, they have some extra detail here that's different. Again, this is just the exact same mold that was used on the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus, only now they are in white with the highlight of silver. These will connect onto the base figure with these clamps right here. These slide right on in, so very nice that those big old boots go right onto there. These little arm mounts right here, which have these nice little cannons right there and some wheels right there. Basically, those 5mm ports with those tabs are gonna go right into the ports right there, and they are just going to peg right on in. That's also what she said. These shoulder pad pieces, and there's 5mm pegs right there that'll go into the 5mm ports on the shoulders, which will just connect right on top right there. Before we add the piece of resistance, first I wanted to talk about these guns right here. Basically, it's these cool black guns that were included with the Ultra Magnus, and now they're also included here with this guy. yeah, that's all I wanted to really say about those. And then he also comes with this silver blaster here, which I am going to save this for a little bit. And finally, bringing down the piece of resistance. The way you want to connect this is he's got this little spinal column right there. There's a bracket right there that's going to connect and snap right on top of that. This is going to sift down. This little dark gray area has 2 tabs that are going to go into the 2 slots right there and really lock that in. And then you can solidify that with the wings, and bam, there you have Nova Prime all combined with all of his parts. This is where the figure is absolutely goated.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Yeah, this is much more my speed. This is how the character appeared in the IDW comic books, and he had a lot of significant history in the comic book lore and like the pre-war of Cybertron. And overall, I think the figure here looks pretty dang good. I love the blue eyes, the silver and combined with the gunmetal gray for his horns, the head crest, the mouth guard, just everything looks great. I also love that extra detail given down here to the chest with the highlights of gray and white to give lots of depth and different details. And those highlights of gold are really nice, giving this guy a lot more of that premium look. And again, those wings on the back, those look so good. And overall, I love just the armored up look. I definitely am feeling that leader class heft and that leader class value to this guy when he's combined in this form. I do understand that some people don't really like how this is still one of the downsized leaders, and I know this is kind of one of those molds that gets looked down upon because of the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus and how leader class figures are getting smaller and so on and so forth, but overall, I actually really like this figure and I am satisfied paying $50 for this.
Are you sure about that?
Just quickly showing off the differences in posability here. He does have a ball joint at the head still, which swivels around, looks up and down, about the same range. He does have the additional extra wing joints here, which do also move these cannons around. We'll get to those in a second. His hips can still rotate forward, back, but they can't move back as far. And then he does get some deep ankle pivot. Also, by the way, this guy does also have some little flip out heel spurs, which give him a little bit extra stability when he has all this crap on his back, so that way you can assure he's not going to be falling over backwards. Some other cool features here with Nova Prime, besides just the wings and some fancy armor, is he does also have the big cannons that have been hiding back here. You just use these hinge joints and you swing them around toward the front. This one technically isn't complete yet because it's missing the blaster, which you just stick right there on the front. And then these have little adjustable handles right here so you can adjust them so he can hold them properly. And these are some of the most badass looking accessories I have ever seen on a Transformers figure. They really open up the opportunity for amazing posability and amazing display options with this guy. Overall, I feel like, again, I'm really getting that heftiness and chunk with this guy.
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I like 'em big.
Here is Nova Prime compared next to that Optimus Prime we looked at before. So you can kind of see the size difference between his base form and the, after he gets the armor on, you can definitely see how much more chunkier and heftier he looks.
I like 'em chunky.
Here he is compared next to the Siege Ultra Magnus, who now also has all of his armor bits on. And then, as I mentioned before, here he is with G-Axis. And yeah, these two look great together. Really reminds me of the comic books and such. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into Nova Prime's transformation into his Cybertronian vehicle mode. Now, of course, this is retooled and repainted from what was once a super sci-fi, fire truck vehicle. So honestly, I don't really got much to complain about with this vehicle mode. I think the front cab looks fantastic. All those details that I saw in that robot mode look fine. I like the bumper on the front, and all the mechanical detail definitely carries over. And again, because it's meant to be a Cybertronian mode, and Nova Prime never really had anything in the comics, I don't really care if it looks kind of messy. And of course, I always love the giant cannons on top, really provide that extra flair to the vehicle mode. Really shows that this thing is going to absolutely destroy you.
I'll destroy all of you!
I love the mechanical detail and, you know, like everything about this vehicle mode is fine. It does roll fairly well. These back wheels aren't really touching the ground due to the transformation. It's kind of not aligning quite right under there, but it's supposed to roll. It just mostly just kind of slides. These guns can shift up and down, and there's blast effect potential and all kinds of stuff, but overall, I honestly don't really have too much to say about this vehicle mode because I'm going to keep him displayed in the robot mode like 90% of the time. But I still do like this vehicle mode, even though it's obviously just a heavy retool of that Galaxy Upgrade Prime. Guess this transformation really cost them an arm and a leg. Or you could say they just had to wing it. Just some quick comparisons for the vehicle mode. Here he is with the Optimus Prime. Here he is with Ultra Magnus. As mentioned before, they basically are just the exact same length, girth, and, width. They're basically just the exact same size because they're basically just the exact same figure. Also, all that is exactly what she said. And then here he is with the Voyager class G-Axis in his jet mode. And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. He is a very good figure. As I mentioned before, I don't mind the whole retooling of the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus. I specifically skipped out on the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime because I didn't really like the way how it looked. I would have much rather waited for that design to get fully redone as like a commander class or such. I think this is a much better use of that mold, and again, that's why I was willing to pick up this mold over that Galaxy Upgrade Optimus. And also, I think this is a little bit better of a use for this mold, even more so than the Ultra Magnus. For me personally, I just consider the smaller Nova Prime without the armor on, I just consider that like a lore implication, like, oh, that's him before he got the Matrix of Leadership. Kind of like that whole leader class thing they did back in Power of the Primes, where it was like the whole evolution gimmick. Overall, I like the figure a lot, and if I had to give him a rating, I give him a very solid 8 out of 10, bordering on like a 9-ish. I am very happy with this figure. It's just, again, he's not absolute perfection. For that, he would need a lot more extra gimmicks and features, but as he is, I still like him, I'd say, a lot more than other people do. But anyway, that is basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed it, give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.